Hello everyone, my name is Jan Jominal, and for today's presentation I'll be presenting you the Meadow Hospital Electronic Health Record Change Management presentation. I'll be for today's presentation we'll be going over the abstract, what this presentation will cover, the background of the case for this presentation, my assessment of the change issue situation for Meadowview Hospital, my recommendations, system change management flow, system change policies, system change meetings, and the conclusion. Here's the abstract of this presentation. Basically, this presentation will present information concerning the system change issue in Meadowview Hospital. Also, I will cover the potential solutions for the issues caused by the sudden information system change in Meadowview Hospital that has caused a disruption for entering PHI or patient health information in the respiratory therapy department. And lastly, this presentation will describe the benefits of using a change management policies and procedures or a workflow. Here's the background of this case study. Basically, the nursing department in Meadowview Hospital requested a change in one of their forms in their EHR or in the electronic health record system, and this sudden change that was not approved by the Information System Steering Committee nor the IT department has caused severe disruptions in the data entry for the respiratory therapy department. Also, they executed a backout plan, which they basically it returned the system to its original form prior to change. The assessment of the situation that basically for effective system change to occur, management policies and procedures should be implemented. Also, important individuals in the information system change committee, steering committee, and also the general IT department should be involved in this system change. My recommendations for the said issue are that procedures and policies and work lines should be implemented. Also, an IS change committee or steering committee or IS change team should be created, and also the clinical end users of the program that would be changed should be informed of such change. Here are the system change policies. Number one, we should it would be ideal to create a steering committee that will evaluate, prioritize, and authorize the system change request. In other words, this body will assess, will determine whether it's high priority, medium priority, or low priority, and will permit the recommendation to reach the approver of this change. And the approver of this change will be the Chief Information Officer, the CIO, or a designated approver will approve the recommended change from the EHR Steering Committee. And lastly, the General IT team will be the ones implementing such change to the EHR system in Meadowview Hospital. Here is the system change management workflow. Basically, we start from someone requests the change, then a change requirement and justification or the specifics of the change, and if the change is needed will be made. Also, the risk for such system change will be assessed to make sure the change does not outweigh the the cons of the change, and basically if the benefits outweigh the negative aspects of such change, then it will be it will be assessed by the IS steering committee, and also if more information is needed, then the change would be denied if the change request is not appropriately written. Then the specifics of implementing the change would be created, and through the help of the general IT team, they'll be developing the plan that in an event the change causes major disruptions that disrupt important service of the hospital, then a backout plan would be utilized to make sure that the system is changed back to its original form. Then this will go through the approver or the CIO for approval. And then once it's approved, then the the final plans for the implementation would be made, and press releases would be conducted throughout the workflow. And once the implementation of the change is made, then and the analysis of the change, whether its benefits are being reaped, would be made, and such results would be documented, and that would basically result in a successful system change. Here are the system change meetings. A meeting will be conducted in the request phase once a change request is submitted. During the risk assessment, when the risk of the change is assessed and it's prioritized, when change goals and designs would be made during the initial phases, and during the communication phase, basically meetings will be conducted here to determine the best method of communicating change throughout the hospital system or the clinical end users. And lastly, during the system change analysis phase, to determine whether the changes are causing benefits or resulting in benefits, or causing any disruptions or negative effects to the EHR system. Again, to just reiterate, the system change meetings would be conducted when someone requests the change, when also during the risk assessment and impact analysis, when the specifics of the system change will be generated, and lastly, when we're testing and validating whether or not the change has been successful, it's resulting in positive improvement in the EHR system for all clinical end users, or go or we need to go back to the drawing board. Here is some specifics concerning the press release. Again, there will be a press release in the change request phase. This will be followed by the risk assessment phase during the design and goals phase, when again it's concerning the specifics of the change design and also what are the measurable goals of the change, and also in the analysis phase in assessing the effects of the change. To just sum up everything here, for the policies, we said again that the policies would go through when a change is submitted, but the actual change request would go through a IS change steering committee. Then they'll be assessing the requirements of the change, the risk assessment, and they approve it. Then they submit the design of the actual change, a backup plan through the help of the IT department. Then this goes to the approval body or the CIO, and then it causes a cascade of press releases implementing the change and validating or testing the change to assess again whether or not the change has resulted in positive effects or negative effects. In conclusion, system changes can be effectively managed by following a system change workflow. This workflow ensures that no step is missed during the system change request, designing, peer approval from a approval body, releasing any information needed by the clinical end users, and analyzing whether or not the change is justified or the change has resulted in positive effects or improvement in the EHR system of Meadow Hospital. Then again, creating a system change committee, steering committee, and IS change team, or the general IT team, would ensure that everything goes through a recommending body, an approval body, and through the IT department who will be implementing the change. And conducting press releases concerning the proposed change would help our clinical end users in Meadow Hospital understand why the change is needed and the benefits of such change. Thanks so much for your time, and appreciate your time in listening to my presentation.